What if the very foundation of our understanding, the bedrock of philosophical inquiry, was being subtly reshaped by algorithms? We stand at a precipice, a moment where artificial intelligence, embodied by tools like ChatGPT, is not just a technological marvel but a profound philosophical challenge. Are we truly prepared to navigate this new landscape, where machines can mimic human thought, generate creative content, and even offer advice? The rapid advancement of AI compels us to confront questions that have haunted philosophers for centuries. What is knowledge? What is truth? What does it mean to be human? These are not abstract academic debates, they are urgent concerns that directly impact our lives. Consider the implications of relying on AI for critical decisions in healthcare, law, or education. Are we sacrificing accuracy and empathy for efficiency? Are we inadvertently codifying biases and inequalities into the very fabric of our digital systems? Imagine Socrates, the relentless questioner of ancient Athens, transported to our present day. He would undoubtedly scrutinize ChatGPT with the same intellectual rigor he applied to the sophists of his time. He would dissect its logic, challenge its assumptions, and expose its potential flaws. He would ask, does this AI truly understand the concepts it manipulates, or is it merely a sophisticated mimic? Does it possess wisdom, or simply access to vast amounts of data? More importantly, how does this technology affect our own capacity for critical thought and moral judgment? The answers to these questions are not found in lines of code or technical specifications. They require a deep dive into the philosophical underpinnings of AI, an exploration of its ethical implications, and a commitment to responsible innovation. The following will provide precisely this. It offers a unique opportunity to examine AI through the lens of Socratic philosophy, providing a framework for navigating the complex moral dilemmas that arise in this rapidly evolving field. It will equip you with the tools to critically assess the promises and perils of AI, empowering you to make informed decisions about its role in your life and in society as a whole. Prepare to embark on a journey of intellectual discovery that will challenge your assumptions, deepen your understanding, and inspire you to become a more thoughtful and engaged citizen in the age of AI. The insights found here are intended to arm the viewer with the philosophical ammunition necessary to approach AI, not with blind faith, but with a healthy dose of skepticism and a commitment to ethical reasoning. We will explore the core tenets of Socratic thought, his relentless pursuit of truth, his unwavering commitment to self-knowledge, and his emphasis on moral virtue, and demonstrate how these principles can be applied to the challenges posed by AI. You will gain a fresh perspective on the ethical considerations surrounding AI, learning to identify potential biases, evaluate the trustworthiness of AI-generated content, and promote responsible innovation. The exploration is not just about understanding AI, it's about understanding ourselves and how these technologies shape our understanding of the world around us. The seductive allure of artificial intelligence, particularly generative models like ChatGPT, masks a complex web of ethical dilemmas that demand careful consideration. We are rapidly integrating these technologies into nearly every aspect of our lives, from crafting emails and generating marketing copy to assisting with medical diagnoses and shaping legal arguments. This pervasive integration presents both unprecedented opportunities and profound risks. The core problem is this: we are entrusting increasingly complex tasks to AI systems without fully understanding their limitations, biases, or long-term consequences. This creates a critical need for ethical frameworks that can guide the responsible development and deployment of AI. The philosophical roots of this problem run deep. Traditionally, ethics has been concerned with human agency and moral responsibility. However, as AI systems become more autonomous and capable of independent action, the lines of responsibility become increasingly blurred. Who is accountable when an AI makes a mistake? Is it the programmer, the user, or the AI itself? Can an AI truly be said to be moral or ethical in the same way that a human can? These are not merely theoretical questions, they have practical implications for how we regulate AI, assign liability, and ensure that these technologies are used for the benefit of all. To understand the challenges, consider the black box nature of many AI algorithms. These algorithms, often based on complex neural networks, can be difficult to interpret even by their creators. This lack of transparency makes it challenging to identify and correct biases that may be embedded in the AI's training data. For example, if an AI is trained on a dataset that reflects historical patterns of discrimination, it may perpetuate those patterns in its decision-making, even if it is not explicitly programmed to do so. Furthermore, the ease with which AI can generate persuasive content raises concerns about the spread of misinformation and propaganda. ChatGPT, for example, can be used to create realistic-sounding fake news articles, generate convincing social media bots, and even impersonate real people online. This poses a significant threat to democracy, public trust, and informed decision-making. The urgency of these issues demands a philosophical approach. We must move beyond simply focusing on the technical capabilities of AI and instead grapple with the fundamental ethical questions it raises. This requires a return to the core principles of moral reasoning, drawing upon the wisdom of philosophers like Socrates to guide our thinking. Visual aid suggestion, a graphic illustrating the black box problem of AI with data flowing in and decisions flowing out, but the internal process is obscured. It seeks to address this problem by applying Socratic principles to the ethical challenges of AI. It provides a framework for critical thinking, ethical decision-making, and responsible innovation. By understanding the philosophical foundations of AI ethics, viewers can become more informed consumers, more responsible developers, and more engaged citizens in the age of intelligent machines. Ready to apply Socratic wisdom to AI ethics? Your journey's just starting. Share your thoughts, questions, and experiences in the comments below to join our community. Your insights are invaluable as we navigate this together. Subscribe for more and become part of the ethical AI conversation. To truly grapple with the ethics of AI through a Socratic lens, we must first establish clear goals. Our primary aim is not merely to understand AI's technical capabilities, but to cultivate critical thinking skills that allow us to evaluate its ethical implications. This involves learning to identify potential biases in AI systems, assessing the trustworthiness of AI-generated content, and promoting responsible innovation that aligns with human values. Socrates would urge us to constantly question assumptions, challenge conventional wisdom, and seek deeper understanding. The first practical step is to embrace the Socratic method of questioning. When encountering AI-generated content, whether it's a news article, a legal argument, or a medical diagnosis, resist the urge to accept it at face value. Instead, ask, what are the sources of this information? What biases might be present in those sources? What alternative perspectives are not being considered? By engaging in this kind of critical inquiry, we can uncover hidden assumptions and potential flaws in AI's reasoning. Consider, for example, the use of AI in hiring processes. An AI algorithm might be used to screen resumes and identify promising candidates based on certain criteria. However, if the algorithm is trained on data that reflects historical patterns of discrimination, it may inadvertently perpetuate those biases, leading to unfair or discriminatory hiring decisions. Socrates would challenge us to examine the data on which the algorithm is trained to understand the criteria it uses to evaluate candidates and to ensure that the process is fair and transparent. Another practical step is to cultivate self-awareness. Socrates famously said, "Know thyself." In the context of AI ethics, this means understanding our own biases and limitations and recognizing how they might influence our perceptions of AI. Are we overly optimistic about the potential benefits of AI, or are we unduly fearful of its risks? Are we willing to challenge our own assumptions and consider alternative perspectives? By engaging in this kind of self-reflection, we can avoid falling prey to cognitive biases and make more informed decisions about AI. Furthermore, we must demand transparency and accountability in the development and deployment of AI systems. This means advocating for regulations that require AI developers to disclose the data on which their algorithms are trained, the methods they use to evaluate their performance, and the potential risks associated with their use. It also means holding AI developers accountable for the consequences of their actions, ensuring that they are liable for any harm caused by their systems. Finally, we must promote ethical education and engage in open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI. This includes educating ourselves and others about the potential risks and benefits of AI, fostering critical thinking skills, and encouraging responsible innovation. By creating a culture of ethical awareness, we can ensure that AI is used for the benefit of all, not just a select few. Socrates would undoubtedly applaud this effort, recognizing that the pursuit of wisdom and virtue is essential for the well-being of society. The relentless march of AI integration into our daily lives isn't a distant future scenario, it's the reality we're navigating right now. Headlines scream about AI-driven job displacement, the spread of AI-generated deepfakes, and the potential for algorithmic bias to perpetuate systemic inequalities. This isn't a theoretical exercise in philosophical musing, it's a pressing need to equip ourselves with the ethical frameworks to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape, making understanding the ethics of AI. What would Socrates say about ChatGPT? The core problem is this: technology is outpacing our ethical preparedness. We're deploying increasingly sophisticated AI systems without adequately considering their moral implications or establishing robust mechanisms for accountability. This creates a dangerous gap between technological capability and ethical oversight, threatening to exacerbate existing social problems and create new ones. Consider the recent surge in AI-generated content used to spread misinformation during elections. These deepfakes, often indistinguishable from reality, can manipulate public opinion, undermine trust in democratic institutions, and even incite violence. Without a widespread understanding of how to identify and combat these threats, we risk becoming increasingly vulnerable to manipulation. This necessitates a return to fundamental principles of critical thinking, mirroring Socrates' relentless questioning of accepted truths. The challenge extends beyond misinformation. AI is increasingly used in high-stakes decisions that impact individuals' lives, such as loan applications, criminal sentencing, and healthcare diagnoses. If these systems are biased or flawed, they can perpetuate injustice and deny individuals access to essential resources. We must demand transparency and accountability in these systems, ensuring that they are fair, equitable, and aligned with human values. This calls for a re-evaluation of our societal values and how they are reflected in these systems, mirroring Socrates' insistence on ethical virtue. The knowledge gap is significant. Many individuals lack the necessary understanding of AI and its ethical implications to make informed decisions about its use. This includes policymakers, business leaders, and everyday citizens. This necessitates widespread education and engagement, mirroring Socrates' belief in the importance of dialogue and critical inquiry. The urgency is amplified by the exponential growth of AI capabilities. New AI models are being developed and deployed at an unprecedented rate, making it increasingly difficult to keep pace with the ethical implications. We cannot afford to wait for a catastrophic event to force us to address these issues. We must act now to establish ethical guidelines, promote responsible innovation, and empower individuals to navigate the challenges and opportunities of the AI age. This requires a proactive approach to ethical development, mirroring Socrates' proactive pursuit of wisdom. Therefore, learning about the ethics of AI, what would Socrates say about ChatGPT? It provides the necessary tools to critically assess AI, identify its potential risks, and promote its responsible development and deployment. To effectively explore the ethics of AI through a Socratic lens, we need to establish a foundational understanding of key concepts. Let's begin with ethics itself. Ethics, in philosophy, concerns itself with principles that govern conduct, distinguishing between right and wrong, good and bad. Ethical frameworks provide guidelines for making moral decisions. But can a machine make a moral decision? Next, we must understand artificial intelligence, AI. AI, broadly defined, refers to the ability of a machine to mimic human cognitive functions such as learning, problem-solving, and decision-making. ChatGPT represents a specific type of AI called generative AI, which can create new content, such as text, images, or audio based on the data it has been trained on. Now, let's delve into Socratic philosophy. Socrates, unlike many philosophers, didn't write down his teachings. Instead, his philosophy is primarily known through the writings of his student, Plato. Central to Socratic thought is the Socratic method, a form of inquiry and discussion involving asking and answering questions to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate underlying presumptions. Could this method be applied to testing the output of AI? The Socratic method is characterized by A. Questioning assumptions, challenging accepted beliefs to reveal inconsistencies or contradictions. Seeking definitions, insisting on clear and precise definitions of concepts. Exploring implications, examining the consequences of different beliefs and actions. Recognizing ignorance, acknowledging the limits of one's own knowledge. A crucial concept is bias in AI. AI systems are trained on data, and if that data reflects existing societal biases, the AI will likely perpetuate those biases in its outputs. For example, facial recognition systems have been shown to be less accurate in identifying people of color due to the lack of diverse datasets used in their training. How do we ensure fairness in AI systems? Another key concept is accountability. Who is responsible when an AI makes a mistake or causes harm? Is it the programmer, the user, or the AI itself? Establishing clear lines of accountability is essential for ensuring that AI is used responsibly. For example, if an autonomous vehicle causes an accident, who is liable? Is it the car manufacturer, the software developer, or the owner of the vehicle? Finally, consider transparency. Many AI algorithms, particularly those based on deep learning, are black boxes, meaning that it is difficult to understand how they arrive at their decisions. This lack of transparency raises concerns about fairness, accountability, and trust. Should we demand explainable AI? Visual aid suggestion. A diagram illustrating the flow of data into an AI system, highlighting the potential for bias at each stage, from data collection to algorithm design to output generation. By understanding these key concepts, we can begin to critically examine the ethical implications of AI and apply Socratic principles to guide our thinking. Applying Socratic principles to the ethics of AI isn't just a theoretical exercise. It has concrete implications for how we develop, deploy, and regulate these technologies. Let's explore some practical applications and potential challenges. Consider the use of AI in education. AI-powered tutoring systems can provide personalized learning experiences, adapting to each student's individual needs and learning style. However, these systems also raise ethical concerns. What if the AI system perpetuates biased or inaccurate information? What if it discourages critical thinking or creativity? What if it creates a digital divide, disadvantaging students who lack access to technology? To address these challenges, educators can adopt a Socratic approach. Instead of blindly accepting the AI's recommendations, they can question its assumptions, challenge its reasoning, and encourage students to think critically about the information it provides. They can also use AI as a tool for promoting dialogue and debate, encouraging students to explore different perspectives and develop their own informed opinions. This mirrors Socrates' method of dialogue. Another practical application is in the field of journalism. AI can be used to automate tasks such as fact-checking, data analysis, and content generation. However, this also raises ethical concerns. What if AI-generated news articles are biased or inaccurate? What if they contribute to the spread of misinformation? What if they displace human journalists? To address these challenges, journalists can use AI as a tool for enhancing their work, not replacing it. They can use AI to fact-check information, identify potential sources, and analyze large datasets. However, they should always exercise their own judgment and critical thinking skills, ensuring that the information they present is accurate, fair, and unbiased. This demands Socratic rigor. A significant challenge in applying Socratic principles to AI ethics is the black box nature of many AI algorithms. If we cannot understand how an AI system arrives at its decisions, it is difficult to question its assumptions or challenge its reasoning. To address this challenge, we need to demand greater transparency in AI systems. This means advocating for regulations that require AI developers to disclose the data on which their algorithms are trained, the methods they use to evaluate their performance, and the potential risks associated with their use. Another challenge is the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes, such as spreading misinformation, conducting surveillance, or developing autonomous weapons. To address this challenge, we need to develop ethical guidelines and regulations that prohibit the use of AI for harmful purposes. We also need to promote international cooperation to prevent the development and deployment of dangerous AI technologies. This calls for Socratic virtue on a global scale. By embracing a Socratic approach to AI ethics, we can ensure that these powerful technologies are used in a way that promotes human flourishing and upholds our moral values. Moving beyond the foundational applications, a more advanced strategy for navigating the ethics of AI involves actively shaping the data landscape itself. AI models are only as good as the data they are trained on. Therefore, creating diverse, representative, and ethically sourced datasets is crucial for mitigating bias and promoting fairness. This requires a concerted effort to collect data from a wide range of sources, to carefully curate and clean the data to remove errors and inconsistencies, and to ensure that the data reflects the diversity of the population it is intended to serve. Consider the case study of predictive policing algorithms. These algorithms use historical crime data to predict where crime is likely to occur in the future, allowing law enforcement agencies to allocate resources more effectively. However, if the historical crime data reflects existing patterns of racial bias in policing, the algorithm may perpetuate those biases, leading to disproportionate targeting of minority communities. A pivotal example is the COMPAS, Correctional Offender Management Profiling for Alternative Sanctions, algorithm used in the U.S. justice system to predict recidivism risk. Studies have shown that COMPAS is significantly more likely to falsely flag Black defendants as high risk compared to white defendants. This highlights the critical need for careful scrutiny of the data used to train these algorithms and for ongoing monitoring to ensure that they are not perpetuating discriminatory practices. To combat this, we need strategies focused on data augmentation, deliberately adding diverse examples, and adversarial debiasing, where algorithms actively try to identify and remove biases. Another advanced strategy involves fostering interdisciplinary collaboration. The ethics of AI cannot be adequately addressed by any single discipline. It requires the expertise of philosophers, computer scientists, lawyers, policymakers, and ethicists working together to develop comprehensive solutions. This interdisciplinary collaboration is essential for identifying potential ethical risks, developing ethical guidelines, and ensuring that AI is used in a way that benefits society as a whole. For example, the Partnership on AI is a multi-stakeholder organization that brings together experts from academia, industry, and civil society to address the ethical challenges of AI. The work of the AI Now Institute, based at New York University, exemplifies this interdisciplinary approach, bringing together researchers from diverse fields to study the social implications of AI. Their research has highlighted the potential for AI to exacerbate existing inequalities and has called for greater transparency and accountability in AI development. These examples demonstrate the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration for navigating the complex ethical landscape of AI. The urgency and importance of addressing the ethics of AI are underscored by a growing body of research highlighting the real-world implications of algorithmic bias, lack of transparency, and accountability gaps. A 2019 study published in Science found that an algorithm used by a major U.S. hospital to allocate healthcare resources systematically discriminated against Black patients, assigning them lower levels of care than white patients with similar medical needs. The algorithm, designed to identify patients who would benefit from extra medical attention, relied on healthcare costs as a proxy for need, inadvertently perpetuating existing racial disparities in healthcare spending. This finding underscores the potential for AI to exacerbate inequalities, even when designed with benevolent intentions. Further evidence of the potential harms of AI comes from the field of criminal justice. A 2016 ProPublica investigation revealed that the COMPAS algorithm, used to assess the recidivism risk of criminal defendants, was significantly more likely to falsely flag Black defendants as high risk compared to white defendants. This disparity persisted even after controlling for factors such as prior criminal history, age, and gender. The ProPublica investigation sparked a heated debate about the fairness and transparency of algorithmic risk assessments and has led to calls for greater oversight and regulation. Expert opinions also reinforce the importance of addressing the ethics of AI. In a 2021 report, the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine concluded that AI systems can encode and amplify bias, discriminate unfairly, and erode privacy and civil liberties. The report called for a comprehensive national strategy to promote the responsible development and deployment of AI, emphasizing the need for transparency, accountability, and public engagement. The real-world implications of these findings are profound. Algorithmic bias can lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes in areas such as healthcare, employment, education, and criminal justice, perpetuating existing inequalities and creating new ones. Lack of transparency can undermine trust in AI systems and make it difficult to hold developers accountable for their actions. Accountability gaps can leave individuals harmed by AI systems without recourse or compensation. Anecdotal evidence further illustrates the potential harms of AI. Stories abound of individuals being denied loans, jobs, or housing opportunities due to biased algorithms, or being subjected to unwarranted surveillance by AI-powered facial recognition systems. These stories highlight the urgent need for ethical guidelines and regulations to protect individuals from the harmful effects of AI. Consider the case of Cathy O'Neil, a data scientist and author of the book Weapons of Math Destruction. O'Neil argues that many AI algorithms, particularly those used in high-stakes decisions, are opaque, unfair, and prone to error. She highlights the potential for these algorithms to reinforce existing power structures and to disproportionately harm marginalized communities. Her work has been instrumental in raising awareness of the ethical risks of AI and in advocating for greater transparency and accountability. In conclusion, the research, data, expert opinions, and anecdotal evidence all point to the same conclusion. Addressing the ethics of AI is not a luxury, but a necessity. We must act now to establish ethical guidelines, promote responsible innovation, and empower individuals to navigate the challenges and opportunities of the AI age. Having navigated the multifaceted ethical terrain of AI through a Socratic philosophical framework, the crucial next step is to consolidate actionable insights and directly confront any remaining uncertainties. Let's revisit those initial probing questions. Is it genuinely possible for a machine to possess moral agency and make a moral decision? How do we effectively guarantee impartiality and equity within AI systems? And is it imperative that we insist upon explainable AI, even if it comes at a cost to performance or complexity? These aren't merely theoretical musings confined to philosophical circles. They represent tangible challenges demanding practical and innovative solutions. A fundamental understanding is that AI, in its essence, remains a tool, albeit an incredibly powerful one. Much like any instrument, its ethical ramifications are contingent upon its application. Just as a hammer can construct a home or inflict harm, AI possesses the potential to foster human progress and well-being, or to perpetuate existing inequalities and injustices. Therefore, the ethical burden falls squarely on the shoulders of the individuals responsible for developing, deploying, and regulating AI technologies. This necessitates cultivating a robust ethical consciousness, demanding unwavering transparency and accountability from AI developers, and championing responsible innovation that prioritizes human values and societal good. To rigorously ensure fairness within AI systems, a proactive and multifaceted approach to combating bias is essential. This demands meticulous attention to the data utilized in training AI models, the intricate algorithms employed to analyze that data, and the subsequent outputs generated by those algorithms. A stark reminder of this necessity is a 2019 study exposing how a widely used algorithm systematically discriminated against Black patients, resulting in diminished levels of care. It also involves implementing stringent mechanisms for continuous monitoring and rigorous evaluation to proactively detect and rectify any emerging biases. Furthermore, data scientists are increasingly exploring sophisticated techniques like adversarial debiasing, which empowers algorithms to actively identify and neutralize embedded biases. The pursuit of explainable AI presents a particularly intricate challenge. While achieving complete comprehension of the decision-making processes of complex deep learning algorithms may not always be feasible, we can and should demand enhanced transparency and robust accountability. This entails requiring AI developers to furnish clear and accessible explanations elucidating the factors influencing their algorithms' decisions and to substantiate those decisions with compelling evidence and sound reasoning. Notably, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, codifies individuals' right to receive an explanation of automated decisions that significantly impact their lives, setting a precedent for greater transparency in AI systems. Ultimately, the ethics of AI transcends the realm of technical complexities. It constitutes a fundamentally human endeavor. It compels us to grapple with profound questions concerning our core values, our societal priorities, and our envisioned future. By embracing a Socratic perspective on AI ethics, we can strive to harness these transformative technologies in a manner that promotes human flourishing, upholds our cherished moral values, and ensures a just and equitable society for all. In the spirit of Socrates, it is imperative to acknowledge that the unexamined AI is indeed not worth deploying. We've journeyed through the complex landscape of AI ethics, guided by the wisdom of Socrates. We've explored the need for critical thinking, self-awareness, transparency, and accountability in the development and deployment of AI systems. We've examined the potential for AI to perpetuate bias and inequality, and we've discussed strategies for promoting fairness and equity. Now, it's time to translate these insights into actionable steps. The main takeaways are clear. AI is a powerful tool with the potential for both great good and great harm. Its ethical implications depend on how we choose to use it. To ensure that AI is used responsibly, we must cultivate ethical awareness, demand transparency and accountability, and promote responsible innovation. So, what are the next steps? First, commit to ongoing learning. The field of AI is constantly evolving, so it's essential to stay informed about the latest developments and their ethical implications. Read books, articles, and reports on AI ethics. Attend conferences and workshops. Engage in conversations with experts and peers. Second, apply critical thinking to AI systems. Don't blindly accept the outputs of AI algorithms. Question their assumptions, challenge their reasoning, and evaluate their potential biases. Demand transparency and accountability from AI developers. Third, advocate for ethical AI policies. Support regulations that promote fairness, transparency, and accountability in AI systems. Engage with policymakers and industry leaders to advocate for responsible AI development and deployment. Fourth, contribute to the development of ethical AI solutions. If you're a computer scientist, data scientist, or engineer, prioritize ethical considerations in your work. Design AI systems that are fair, transparent, and accountable. Collaborate with ethicists and social scientists to address the ethical challenges of AI. The benefits of applying these insights are significant. By promoting ethical AI, we can create a more just and equitable society, protect individual rights and freedoms, and foster innovation that benefits all of humanity. Furthermore, embracing ethical AI can enhance trust in AI systems, leading to greater adoption and utilization. The journey towards ethical AI is a continuous process, requiring ongoing learning, critical thinking, and collective action. It's a journey worth taking, for the sake of our present and our future. So, let's embark on this journey together, guided by the wisdom of Socrates and committed to creating a world where AI is used for the betterment of all. Take action now, ***, share this and discuss it with someone in your life. Visit the Partnership on AI website and explore their resources on ethical AI. Together, we can shape the future of AI. Our exploration into AI ethics, viewed through the timeless wisdom of Socrates, reaches its end, yet the journey of understanding has only just begun. The questions pondered aren't mere intellectual diversions. They are cornerstones upon which the very edifice of our future society is constructed. Echoing Socrates, an unexamined life lacks purpose. Similarly, AI deployed without rigorous ethical scrutiny risks unintended consequences. We must relentlessly question, analyze, and assess these potent technologies, ensuring their alignment with core values and contribution to genuine human advancement. The knowledge acquired herein is not for passive reception, but for active implementation. As AI increasingly permeates daily existence, from personalized recommendations to sophisticated medical diagnoses, recall the governing principles we've dissected. Scrutinize the assumptions underpinning algorithms, challenge their reasoning processes, and critically evaluate any inherent biases. Advocate for transparency and demand accountability from those shaping AI's trajectory. Embracing this proactive approach empowers you to become a more discerning consumer, a more conscientious member of society, and an ethically responsible guardian of technology's potential. This exploration serves as a launchpad. The domain of AI ethics is expansive and ever-evolving, with limitless avenues for continued learning. Venture further into related realms, delving into algorithmic discrimination, data security concerns, the implications of autonomous weaponry, and the transformative impact of AI on the future of work. Participate in dialogues with leading experts and fellow enthusiasts, freely sharing insights and lived experiences. Through collective effort, we can forge a world where AI truly benefits all. Remember the chilling words of one AI ethicist: "Algorithms are opinions embedded in code. Our role is to ensure those opinions are fair, just, and reflective of our highest ideals. In the spirit of Socrates, let us acknowledge that true wisdom lies in recognizing the limitations of our knowledge. Navigating the uncharted waters of artificial intelligence demands humility and a thirst for understanding. Let openness to new perspectives, a willingness to confront ingrained assumptions, and an unwavering commitment to truth and virtue be our guiding lights. Together, we can harness AI's power, building a brighter future for all. Ultimately, AI's lasting legacy will not hinge on its technological prowess, but on the ethical choices that define its development and deployment. Let us work to ensure that legacy is one of wisdom, compassion, justice, and unwavering commitment to the common good, echoing throughout history. Consider taking a free online course on AI ethics. Many reputable universities and organizations offer accessible resources to deepen your understanding. Share the most important lesson you learned today with 3 people. Igniting conversation is the first step toward creating real change. And most importantly, never stop questioning. The ethical landscape of AI is constantly shifting, and our vigilance is the most powerful tool we have.
Subscribe to never miss the next chapters of this quiet revolution. Leave your disagree or agree in the comments. Debate is the soul of thought. Share this video with someone who dares to question the obvious.